The overarching theme, I think, for me, that's the big thing. Is a lot of guys got a lot of banked reps. Um, I think certain position groups sort of gotten better, but now they need to sort of carry that through summer, continue to get bigger, get stronger. So that we can have a good fall camp.
Is there anything you just want to see from your guys on Saturdays, or is it just like specific that you close off strong?
No, just again, I think you just want to see their competitiveness. It's you put fans in the stands, and it's sort of again, we go back to the young guys. It's their first glimpse of doing it, in front of a crowd, in front of a lot of people, and so you want to see who can step up in that moment. Hopefully they all do. The light in the moment's not too big. And I just want to see them be competitive, and play with energy, compete, and really have fun with it. They've worked hard, they've grinded through installs. Like anything else, there's monotony that comes with continuous practice, and this is sort of the culmination of that for them. So just go out there, have fun, friends, family, and show what they can do.
Marcus told us last week you can't really do a real scrimmage just because of the defensive line situation. You'll get more guys hurt if you have a bunch of freshmen going up against veteran O-linemen. But what are those guys going up against, not just like threes versus threes, but maybe threes versus your normal ones?
They get the feel of what it really is, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key is whenever you sort of step up, whether you say threes versus ones or twos versus ones, or whatever the case may be, even threes versus twos, every notch up you're probably going against. You're going against an older guy that's savvy, that's experienced, and so you get closer and closer to, oh man, this is really what it'll be like on a game day, And then we always tell them, even if it's one versus you're going against a one, the level of intensity isn't anywhere close to game day. And so if you feel like it's really fast right now, it'll be really, really fast. And I was talking with one of the young mid-year freshmen, and they're like, yeah, high school was good, and then one of the all-star games that he was able to play in, he was like, man, you could feel the speed and the pace increase when everybody there was good. And he goes, then you come here, and he's like, it's just a whole different level. And I laughed, and I said, well, what you're feeling right now is just a sliver of what you would actually feel on game day.
Do you have to guard against those guys getting frustrated when they go up against players who are so much more older and experienced than them?
Yeah, you do. But I think our coaching staff, does a really good job of just, again, encouraging them. Say, hey, listen, this is the natural process. And I think our older guys do a nice job putting their arm around and say, hey, I've been exactly where you've been. I felt these exact same feelings of frustration of, man, am I good enough? Can I do this? These guys are way bigger, faster, stronger than me. And it comes down to time. And you have to be patient and put in the time, and it'll come.
Right. Years ago, it would have been unheard of, for freshmen to come in and be anywhere near ready to compete. What's it say about the way they're coming up now that you can have guys come in, mid-year and be able to do some things?
Yeah, I think it starts in their high school programs. I think, high schools have become way more sophisticated, in terms of, at least some of them in terms of the schemes that they run. So there's a comfortability in that. They're training a little bit earlier, so physically they're a little bit more sort of ready or mature. Doesn't mean emotionally they're any more ready. You try to do as much as you can in the recruiting process to bring those kind of guys in that you understand how they're built and how they're wired. But it's very much a guess. And listen, just because young guys are in and they're getting reps right now doesn't mean they're going to play significant snaps. They may not. That's a long time to be determined. But it's just good to have them here and have them competing, with old guys. And again, I think it goes both ways sometimes with old guys. Like sometimes they let them know, like they go full on and sort of let them know. And then sometimes they'll take it easy, because you'll get it from the crowd, right? Oh, you're gonna beat up on a freshman? Oh, okay, tough guy, that kind of deal. So then they don't always, it allows that freshman to feel competitive. If an old guy maybe eases up, he doesn't know that, and then he wins a rep. But there will be no easing up, on Saturdays.
Brad, there's another portal window, but on your side of the ball, you only have one player, I believe, in the first window. That's something you see on your side of the ball being active in coming up, and if there's a spot you're looking.
We'll see. After spring, we'll sit down, we'll evaluate, across the board, as a whole staff, not just defense, but offense, defense, special teams, and then we've got to do whatever's best for the team. Obviously, in any business, you're always, if there's a way to improve your team, you evaluate that option, and then you decide whether it's truly an upgrade or not.
What's an area of growth you've seen over the course of spring ball that you're proud of to see as a coach?
That's to single out an area. I really like how our guys play together. It doesn't matter young, old. Like they bring, everybody's been brought into the fold. And sort of as the coordinator, you sort of have that proud papa moment. You watch them and you see them celebrating together, encouraging each other. Hey, listen, everybody wants to be a starter. Everybody wants to be the guy on the field. But the really good teams, they you talk about getting player led. Like you see the guys that have been in this system, they bring the new guys in, right? They bring, whether it be transfer, whether it be mid-year freshmen, and they just say, listen, you're in this building, you're part of this family, and you've seen them gel going through, and they come out with an enthusiasm every day to practice, and that's. And I felt that last year, I think. So that's where I've been a little bit, to answer it that way, because I don't know if it's necessarily an improvement. It's just something that, hey, listen, every team has to go through that. Some get it, some don't. I've been proud that this group so far has shown that ability to gel and to fight for each other, because we're going to need that. We're going to have a lot of ups and downs, come fall, and I think they truly care about one another.
Right, among your freshmen who didn't redshirt last year, I don't know that we asked about Javen Brown all season, but he ended up playing in like 11 games. What did you like about him and to put him in that situation, and maybe where's his progress at this week?
Yeah, he's a very natural linebacker. He's a very instinctive player. He's got natural box movements on special teams, I think helped out quite a bit, in that regard. Again, running down in space, making guys on kickoff miss. Excited about his future, and really that entire room. You've got sort of 3-4 old guys, right? You throw Alex in the old guy because he's played 2 consecutive years, right? And then you've got a slew of young guys in there that are just learning from veterans, and I think the future is really bright, for that room.
Some of those young guys, specifically the Smith twins, they're getting used to college ball. Kind of how have you seen them adjust?
I think, first of all, really easily, it's been an easy transition. And I think a transition like that might be slightly easier when you're doing it with your brother, right? So you have somebody to lean on, and So you sort of walk into an unknown situation with something that you can cling to that's familiar. But it's great. What I love about them is, some twins or some brothers will always be just around each other, and they're not like they trust me. They're around each other plenty, but they'll branch off. It's not like they're always eating at the same table in the cafeteria. They've got friends all over the team. So I'm eating here today. They're like, and so it's just been a really smooth transition for both of them. And I think both of them have had, really sound and solid springs. And so we need to just continue to build on those.
Against Clemson, Nicole, how much confidence does that give you for them this year?
It gives me a lot of confidence. I mean, it boosts my confidence going into this next season. Obviously, this off season we've been working and I've been getting better. But it's just confidence. It's a confidence booster for me.
Is there a specific area you've been working on this offseason or in spring practice to try to improve on?
I just work on everything. You can get better at everything. I don't want to just work on one thing and then I need to work on another. So just building everything around this off season this spring has been, real uplifting for me.
Does the approach change any at all, knowing that all those snaps are there for you to play this year?
I'm not gonna say I take it a lot more serious, but it's like it's so surreal to me now at this point. So it's like I have no time to be joking around. So I'm on top of what I gotta do and I get it done.
What are your matchups with the offensive line been like this spring? Anybody who gives you particularly good battles in there?
Marcus Cox. He's a veteran guy, so we like to go up against him because he's an older guy. He knows a lot more technique. To offensive tackle. So it's real helpful when my pass rush.
I think we were talking with Mincy on Tuesday, and he mentioned that your pass rush is a little bit unorthodox in ways.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by that?
So I like to spin a lot. I like the inside spin. I like the outside spin. I'm a finesse guy. So I like to. I can go to power, but I like speed. I like the long arm, like the outside spin, inside spin, cross chop. I like finesse moves.
Is there a reason that you kind of trended that direction that makes that work for you?
I've always been a faster outside linebacker, a leaner outside linebacker, so I know using speed to my advantage on an edge rush is helpful for me.
From when you came in your first practices at Kentucky to now, where do you think you've made the
Everywhere. Knowing the game, knowing tips and tendencies, looking for them on the field while you're in game, while you're playing in game. Building my football IQ. Coach White has helped me a lot with that, and that's where it's so helpful at.
All right, good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, start here.
Derek, I know that you all had forced to not play together at times because of injuries with Trevin last year, but what's it like this spring having him not next to you and trying to learn some new partners, I guess, in the heart of that defense?
It ain't tough, but I do miss my brother, but it ain't tough. It just, we all playing football we all got the same goal and trying to play football. But I do miss him, though. Don't get that. I do miss him, but it ain't that different.
Is it noticeable? Because you guys were so close.
No, it's for sure. It's for sure noticeable. It's for sure noticeable because we can just look at each other. We'll know what we thinking. But it's different in that aspect. Like just knowing, I know what he thinking. If he do something, I know what he doing. Stuff like that.
What have your impressions of Pop been out there? And how do you guys kind of mesh together? I guess. He been on the team that won 2 national championships. So. He got that championship mindset. Like I take a lot of things. I get a lot of things from him. He probably get a lot of things from me, and also Davin too.
You just had Tyrese up here with us. What have you seen from him and his growth this spring?
Tyrese is taking a big step right now, in maturity level, just playing football, none of the extra stuff. He's took a big step, and he plays hard all the time, so he's been doing good.
There's been a couple early enrollees this year. Has there been anybody that's kind of stood out to you that wasn't here last year?
I be around the guys that be in my room all the time. So I say the guys that's in my room are Antoine, Grant was hurt last year, but he playing now. Grant, all them boys been doing good.
Derek, is there maybe a focus area for you going in this year that you're really trying to hone in on and improve on in the offseason?
My whole focus this year just been just taking that next step. Whatever I can do, just take that next step. It's not that one specific thing. They're just taking that next step just to go to another level.
Coach White just talked about this being a group that he thought has really gelled and been a close group. What do you think has been a key role in that?
I feel like every team need like we all got to be close for us to be good. So we all just been taking that in, just being close with each other, talking to each other all the time, invite somebody to the house or something like that.
I don't think we ever got like an official announcement you were coming back, but you did do senior day last year. Did you consider, maybe starting your pro career or moving on, or were you always just planning to come back for this?
I honestly didn't know what I was gonna do. I did the senior walk because I wanted to do it with my grandma.
You mentioned taking the next step. Has there been anything you've done differently in your approach this year?
I mean, my approach been the same. It just a little like tweaks and like just different things. I approach the workouts. I mean, I always approach the workouts hard, but it's like just working with Coach Ed, like different stuff like that, getting a little faster, stuff like that.
What do you guys think when the news hit yesterday? I think it was yesterday, when Josh Allen getting his big contract and kind of what that means for a player coming from here on the defensive side of the ball?
That's big. Just from him coming from this program and what I didn't play with him. From what I heard, what he did here is big. I think he's like the third highest paid defensive player in the league now. So yeah, it's big.